Hey guys, so this is part 2 of Spirit the Stallion, and today we are doing the beautiful rain. So grab your brushes and your paints and follow along. Okay, so I'm going to take some black and white gel paint and a little bit of top coat, and I'm just going to create a grey that's slightly transparent to do my sketch. Now, although rain is a brown and cream horse, you would initially think to use a brown to sketch with, but on closer inspection the outline is actually grey, so that's what I'm going to use. So for this I'm using my Sturdy Boy, the OG favourite, and I'm going to do this on the ring finger. This is actually a custom order. So let me just load up my brush. We're going to twist and pull that product through, squeezing it out on the palette so there is no bulky gel paint. So now I'm finding the center of the image, and that is where I'm going to start, on the center of the nail. Okay, so we're going to do a slight curved line down, and if you get this perfect, everything else should flow. I'm going to pull it in like I'm doing an eye, but I'm going to leave a broken area and then pull that down to a point. So it's kind of like this shape. This is in real time again, guys, so I'm sorry if I'm slow, but I don't want to speed it up. I want to show you guys the whole process. So now I'm going to add her little eyelid shape and then her eyebrow. Notice I'm just doing small sketches. I really just want to get the placement of where everything should be, and then I can come over and correct it with the line. So as you can see, that line that follows down her muzzle is connected to her eyebrow. So I'm just going to pull a line down. I'm not going to worry about the bottom of it too much. I'm just kind of extending everything I paint a little bit more so that I can focus on the proportion of everything. So for that top part of the hair, you just want to kind of do two soft curved lines, and you almost overlap them so that they're connected. I'm always looking for what would be the next easiest part to paint when I do characters. Rather than just going in and doing anything, I want to find the easiest parts, because once I fill in the easiest parts, I can vision the rest. So now I'm just doing that curved part of her face, which will be painted brown. It's kind of like a soft S for that shape. So notice how the left side of her nostril is in line with the right side of her eye. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to measure it correctly so that the portions will be right. And that's just kind of a soft triangle. I did mine a bit harsh, but you can soften it up after. I haven't cured it yet, so it's not an issue. I'm just going to come in with my Squeaky Clean brush and erase anything that needs to be erased. I think that S shape I did too high, so I have taken the bottom off. So once that alcohol is dry, you can come in and carry on painting, or you can just move to another area, which is what I've done here. So I'm going to bring in the right of her nose with another curved line, and see how the bottom of that line is in line with the bottom of her eye. So it really is about connecting up each shape and what's in line with. And in the middle of her eye, if you scroll down, is where the top of that curve is for her mouth. I'm going to bring that up to the right side of the nose. Muzzle, sorry, we figured that out in my last video. Guys, if you are new here, please check out my last video because we actually did Spirit the Stallion. And we have one more character from this set to go. So yeah, do all 3. Tag me in your socials. I will share them on my stories. So Rain is looking to her right. So for her eye, I'm just going to do a soft little circle in the top left corner like that. Now I'm going to add in the top of her hair. Now this little part of the eye, don't be scared by small areas like this. Break it down into shapes. So for example, I just did a soft triangle and then I connected that down to her muzzle. This is when I decided that I think her hair needed to be a little bit lower. So I've just gone over the top of the previous and I can rub that out after. So to rub out my mistakes, I'm using 70% isopropyl. Oh my god, one day I'm going to get it right, but you know what I mean. So let's fix that S now that it's dry. I'm going to bring it a little bit lower, like that. That looks much better. And now I'm going to do the left side of her hair. Notice I'm still painting left to right because I'm right-handed. It's going to be so much easier for you if you stick to that rule. So we're going to add in her little ears. Now she's really starting to look like Rain. This is when you can take a breath because you know it's gonna be okay. Okay, so just under that mouth, maybe like in the center, we're gonna pull down and that's gonna be her chest. And then we're gonna do a line to the right for her leg. I am adding those little details in now because it helps me with proportion to add them in, even though I will be painting over them in a minute. If you can fit this in, just do 2 kind of soft triangles for her hair. Don't worry if you can't fit it on the nail, it doesn't matter. Practice is practice. So now that everything is sketched out, we're going to start to color her in. And this is an exclusive for you because I will be releasing this color gel paint very soon. You guys are the first to see it. And this color is called Bo Peep. It's a super light nude and it's perfect for rain. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and paint all of the areas in that need this color. So I'm actually going around the outside of the area first because those bits are obviously going to be the hardest. And then when that's done, I will just color everything in the middle. So once you've done the first colour, you want to go ahead and cure it, just so that it doesn't mix with the second colour, which is what I'm going to do after. So again, I'm going around the outside areas. I'm just getting all those lines nice and sharp, and then I can just colour everything in. So the brush I'm using is my She's So Fine, and this is the rose gold version. She does also come in silver. I do different types of brushes, so you can buy depending on what you want them to look like in your content or your layout or your salon. So yeah, it's good to have a mix up. Okay, so we're going to start to paint Rain's hair, and if you look at it carefully, it is an ombre, and it's not just light at the top and dark at the bottom like most ombres. It's actually got a mix up, so just be mindful of where your light colors are going to go versus where your dark colors are going to go. So for the inside of her ears, I am just using a light pink, and I'm also going to use that for her nostril as well. So once you've done her eyes, apart from the background, there's nothing else to colour in. So I am going to switch back to my Sturdy Boy brush, and I'm going to take a grey gel paint colour, and I'm going to come back in and go over all of those lines that I've kind of painted over. You should still be able to slightly see through them, so if you can, just follow along with the previous lines that you did. So I'm going to be a lot more precise this time than the first time where you saw me sketching out really lightly. I'm really just trying to perfect these lines now. So don't forget her eyebrow line, because that is connected to the muzzle line, however it's a lot darker. If you haven't used this brush, I highly recommend Sturdy Boy. He is just the best brush I've ever used. He glides so smoothly. He's also beginner friendly and versatile, so he can be used for so many different things, except cleaning up like this one. So as I said, this is a 3-part tutorial, and the next one is Little Creek, which is the guy. I didn't realize that was his name until I did my last tutorial. Yeah, so please paint along with that one as well, and like I said, share them onto your stories and socials and tag me, and I will share them too. So once you've finished your sketching, you can go ahead and do the background. You could have done this before you did her outline, however, I just like to do it because it visually looks better. So I'm doing like a sky blue ombre, and then I'm going to do grass at the bottom. So now the background is complete. I'm just going to add some shading into areas that need it. You could also do this before the outline. However, for characters like this, by leaving it till last, it's actually going to soften some of those lines. Because if you look at Rain's outline, the lines are not thick and solid. They are slightly faded. So sometimes it's best to do the shading last. So the colours I'm using is actually the same colour I used on Rain. I've just added a touch of dark brown just to make it darker. Shading really does make such a difference when you're doing 3 characters. It literally takes them from being flat to looking like they do in the movie. So I'm just copying where the shaded areas are on Rain. If you didn't have a reference, you've just got to do everything that's kind of hidden and that would be in the shadows. So to buff out those darker areas, I'm actually using my Squeaky Clean brush. It is a multi-use. It's absolutely amazing for blending out colours. Just use it dry and drag that product out. So once that's fully cured, I'm actually going to take an even darker shade and I'm just going to come into those really hidden areas and just add in some more shadow, which will give it even more definition. So last but not least is those all important eye whites, and these dots just really make the eyes sparkle. There is only one that you can see on this image, so I'm just going to pop that in, and I'm so impressed with how this nail came out. I'm going to finish mine with a glossy top coat. Of course you can do matte if you'd rather. Oh, look at that, how beautiful. This is always my favorite part of the nail process. Oh, she looks stunning. I really hope you love this tutorial, guys, and yeah, give me a like, comment if you can, and let me know what else you want to do as a tutorial. So there is Rain and Spirit, and I will see you next time for Little Creek. Thanks for watching.